Welcome to this new series from Flow Made Simple. This series, Flow Mechanics, is my way of answering the amazing questions that I get from you, my viewers, on how to perform advanced mace flows. In each episode, we'll cover a flow principle, learn advanced movements, and tie everything together in one advanced flow. Today's flow is called the Sea Serpent and involves 3 different moves, all originating from a cradle grip. We're gonna get going now, but first, let's see the flow. Now to kick things off, we're gonna cover the flow principle of today's episode. Mace flow is full of what I call intersections, which simply means any point where you have multiple choices of where you can go next. This means that from one position, you have a choice to do 3, 4, or 5 other different movements that all lead to their own intersections where you can choose again. Today, our intersection is the cradle grip, which is when I'm holding the mace with one arm with my palm facing up. And from here, we can do a number of different things. There are actually 6 total combinations that I use with the cradle grip very commonly in flow. Today, we're covering 3 of those. So we're gonna dive in now and learn these 3 advanced movements, and then we're gonna tie it all together into the Sea Serpent flow. Starting off simple, we're gonna do a cradle grip into an arrow. To begin, we're gonna come into our warrior stance, both hands bottom of our mace. One hand will rise to the top of the mace, bring it down across my body, drop the heavy end, and then curl into this cradle position. And this is how we're gonna cradle all through this video. Next, I'm gonna bring my hand right underneath the mace head, and then I'm going to extend into an arrow, like so. So extend, and then I'll bring it in, cradle underneath to the other side, opposite hand grabs underneath the head of the mace, extend. And then you can cradle again, and press out. Once you feel comfortable, you're gonna drop down with your arms still straight and then pull into the cradle and extend. And it's valid to be able to go from your arrow, pull in and then cradle, and it's also totally fine to extend into the arrow, keep your arms straight, and then cradle through. So that's movement number 1. Let's move on into movement number 2. Kicking up the difficulty now, we're gonna do one called the Around the World. What I'm going to do from my cradle grip is I'm simply going to bring the mace head up by dropping the tail down, let the tail go behind my body as I pivot my upper body with the mace, extend the arm, and then grab hold of the tail. Pull around and press into a shield, nice and strong, and then I'm going to bring it back to the front and cradle again, and you can practice this several times on the same side. And to see what it looks like from the back, cradle, I'm going to drop behind, extend, grab hold, and shield. Now the key with this is you're trying to keep it as flat to your body as you possibly can. So what I don't want to do is angle it out to the side and then try to do the same thing, because that's gonna be wonky, right? I'm gonna try to keep it as clean as I can, keeping it nice and close to my body, and that'll make it really easy for me to push into that shield. That's movement number 2. Let's move on to movement number 3. Finally, the really fun one we're doing today is going to be a cradle grip into a drop swing. What that looks like, I'm gonna cradle grip underneath, bring the mace head up, just like we had done with the Around the World, and I'm going to grab the bottom right underneath my elbow, drop through, and catch. And I'm gonna catch with my hand at the bottom of the mace so that I have a little more stability as I catch. From here, I'll pivot back to the front, bring my hand at the top of the mace, perform the same cradle grip, grab hold at the bottom, and drop through. And we're just gonna repeat that. So I'll do one more on this side so you can see. Nice and smooth. And that's what we're gonna do. Now, if you feel uncomfortable with swinging the mace in a drop swing, a great basic exercise to start is a simple drop swing. So just bringing it to the side and actually swinging it side to side. You can even do one hand to the other so you can get comfortable with it. And you can also do both hands with the wrists pointing forward. And you're gonna pivot your body as you go through it. So that is our cradle grip into the drop swing. And now we are going to move on to the Sea Serpent flow. Alrighty, so we're gonna tie all of this together into the Sea Serpent flow now. I'm gonna do one round slow and then one round a little bit faster. We're going to apply each of those 3 movements in the same order that we learned them. So I'll come into my warrior stance, both hands bottom of the mace. One hand rises to the top, left leg out to the side, lateral lunge, And from here, I'm going to cradle grip underneath, and I'm going to push into an arrow, fully extending. Next, I'm going to bring the mace back through the cradle grip. I'm bending my opposite leg this time, and then I'll drop the mace behind, into and around the world, reconnect, shield. Finally, bring the mace back to the front, cradle grip underneath, grab hold, swing out to the side and catch. Don't hit your knee. And then next, once I'm holding here, here's the final twist of the flow. I'm gonna bring the mace horizontal, and I'm gonna let the momentum swing behind me and across, and then back up to the front. And then from here, I'm simply going to bring the mace back down, and then prayer switch right into the next cradle grip, extend the arrow, bring it underneath, around the world, extend, grab hold, shield. Finally, back to the front, cradle grip, connect, swing, catch, drop it around, and back to the front. Top of the mace, and return. Now I'll do one more a little bit faster. So prayer switch, continue to cradle, arrow. I'm going to cradle underneath, bring it around the world. Finally, bring it back to the front, cradle grip, reconnect, swing, catch, allow it to strike, bring it back to the front. Bring the hand to the top of the mace, return. Last one, prayer switch. Continue into the cradle, extend, arrow, cradle again, around the world, extend here, shield. Finally, back to the front, cradle underneath, reconnect, catch in the bottom. I'm gonna drop it through, swing, and reconnect. And that is the sea serpent. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Definitely practice each of those 3 different movements, all originating from the cradle grip. And again, remember the focal point of intersections. That's the point. 3 different options from one place. Try it out and enjoy. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to level up your mace skills fast. And I'll see you on the next Flow Made Simple video. Peace.